I tell you, I love hearing this conversation because it's not just Alex and Claire and myself. It's Leslie and Rupert and Damien and everyone and F. Murray and everyone who came through our doors, all these wonderful actors and directors and cinematographers and crew members, everyone that I've ever known and respected as what I would really refer to as the kind of, you're not supposed to say the word artist, people I like to be with, are worried. They've failed. They're not going to do it okay. Mm-hmm. I mean, Claire never quits, never gives up. She's just an absolute, but she's all, I also know what's inside. I know what drives, and that insecurity I find is what drives the people I love and respect and get the privilege to work with. It drives them. That insecurity is a gift. I'll never forget, and I've shared it with Alex. We were, I forget the name of the cafe across from Playwrights Horizon on 42nd Street when we were doing the workshop of Sunday in the Park with George. And on this one night, we went across the street to this little restaurant. Downstairs was this little piano down in the basement. And Steve Sondheim comes over to play this song that they want me to put in that night. And Paul Gemignani, the conductor's there, and James Lapine and Sondheim. And Sondheim sits down. And before he's even halfway through it, his shirt was dry, but before he's even halfway, it's just sopping wet, like he has a makeup person, like just spraying water on his arms. And he finishes playing Finishing the Hat for the first time for the three of us, which is the title of his books, of his life's work. And he is a complete wreck at that moment, terrified to look at anybody in the eye, certain that it's a disaster, that he's just delivered, nothing. And there you have it.
I'm having trouble hearing you.
Oh, this is my fucking watch. It just said, I'm having trouble hearing you. Shut up.
He's something that sounds like Siri, probably.
Just to follow up on the Sunday in the Park story. That is the first time I ever saw Mandy do anything. Was in 1982, 1983. In New York. In that production with Bernadette Peters, and it's why Mandy got cast as Saul. It's in fact when I said we're going to cast Mandy, my only stipulation was that he grew a beard, because Mandy wasn't Mandy without the beard. And I hope you don't mind if I tell you this story, Mandy, but on the very last day of shooting with Mandy. He wanted one last take, and it was the scene where he was looking at the book that Carrie Mathison had written, and we were in the close-up, and Mandy said, "Look, I want one more take," and Leslie and I looked at each other and said, "Mandy, we got it," and then he goes, "No, I want one more take," and so we all said, "Okay, Mandy deserves it. It's the last shot. It's his last thing," and he sat down behind that desk and he looked up in the camera and he sang that song, Finishing the Hat. And we were finishing the hat. We had made the hat where there was no hat. And, that was our send-off.